Now, you already know Candace Owens is talking to 20 different feminists. Take a look. It was wild to hear both sides.
The pathway to, strive toward family because they think their career is going to hug them at night, or they think that when they're on their deathbed, their career is going to come up next to them and say, you were so great to me. I think that they've stepped into a delusion.
So why do you believe that?
It's not one or the other, but when you sit here and you go, you'll be more fulfilled doing this than spend all your time doing that. We would love for you to leave the public eye and go focus on what makes you fulfilled.
Okay. I am surrounded by 20 feminists. My first claim is that the sexual revolution has devalued women and made them infinitely less happy. Hi.
Hi.
I like your hat.
Whitney Shanahan. Nice to meet you. Fascinated by your claim that women have lost happiness because since 1950s, since the sexual revolution, women have gotten exponentially more freedom and more choice. Having the freedom to choose what I do, to make my own destiny, makes me infinitely more happy than, say, back before the sexual revolution when I couldn't get a bank account, couldn't get a home loan, couldn't work outside the home, couldn't travel around without a man. So I feel that happiness, personally, my belief, is tied to our ability to have freedom. And I think that in the United States, protecting freedom and our individual freedoms is what's going to lead us to happiness.
Did you go to college?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Did you?
Yes, I did. So you have a degree?
Absolutely.
Now, when you went to college, did you go to college because it was simply something that you wanted to do? Or did you think that I have to go to college because in order to get a job, I have to have a college degree?
I went to college for art because I was fascinated with art.
Okay. It's just answering my question. Did you go to college? Was that the only reason you went to college? Or did you think that I might want to do something in art, so I have to go to college, like for my career?
I went to school because I wanted to expand my horizons. I mean, I think that's why most people go to university.
No,
Why did you go?
That's actually not true. I went, and I think a lot of people go because there's a pressure that if you don't go to college, you're going to be a failure.
It's a choice. Everything's a choice. So taking away choices doesn't make people happier. Taking away freedom doesn't make people happier.
I'm disagreeing with you on the idea that people are feeling more free by financial pressure. I think financial pressure makes people feel remarkably less free.
So you want no bank accounts again? Women not to have credit cards?
I'm not saying that women shouldn't have access to credit cards or bank accounts. You're putting words in my mouth, so why don't you respond to the words that I'm saying?
Well, less financial pressure. If I don't have a bank account, that's a lot less financial pressure, I guess, right?
Financial pressure in terms of most people that go to college, and I'm counting myself among them, it's because typically in order to get the job that you're being sold is going to make you infinitely happier and infinitely more free, it just requires a college degree. And most of these people, to be clear, have to put themselves, the majority of people have to put themselves into debt. And I don't think anybody would describe debt as a form of freedom, right? I don't think anybody would realistically say...
Let's get back to happiness. So we're here to talk about happiness and how the sexual revolution, and we're not talking about college debt.
I think it's important because we're talking about freedom. You just said that the reason why I feel happy is because I have more freedom. And I am saying that financial restraints and debt doesn't make people feel more free. Hi.
Currently, women make up about 47% of the workforce. If this were the case and that women were just inherently unhappy or unfulfilled working and would just prefer to be at home, why don't they?
Because we've made that due to prior feminist waves nearly impossible, because now, which I believe that the reason that the government wanted women to enter the workforce is because it gave them an opportunity to tax a household twice. And so this goes back to what I was saying, is that there's a lot of financial pressure that is being exerted on young women to enter the workforce, and they do so blindly under this illusion that somehow entering the workforce is going to make you more fulfilled, like getting yourself into 6 figures of debt, going to college to then take on a career and be in debt and having to pay student loans while you make $35K is going to make you happier. And I'm saying that isn't actually true.
Okay, so I hear that.
Right. Yeah.
At the same time, would you not agree that that women can both have a career and have children? I mean, you are actively doing that right now.
And I want to be very clear, because I am actively doing it right now. I would be someone that you would call an exception because I get to work from home. I get to wake up in the morning. I don't have a boss, right? I don't have to go into the office from 9 to 5. I get to then therefore spend the entire morning with my children.
So you're an exception, and the 47% of women that make up our labor force are also an exception?
No, the exact opposite. So I'm trying to make it more realistic, because I think it's really bad form when people who are able to stay at home, right, and are able to start working at, 1:00 p.m. as I do after being around their children, the children are running around all day, will then preach to you that every woman can have this. That's not the reality. The reality is that the overwhelming majority of people are stuck behind a desk all day.
And she is not lying. You cannot have it all. I see tons of women who they're nowhere in that type of placement in life. So when she's saying, well, we see you doing it. No, and this is what a lot of women do. They kind of use somebody on TV and be like, well, they doing it. You not. Let's go with the majority. Majority women out here are having kids by themselves in pure suffrage. Real talk.
And they're not happy. They're not doing work that gratifies them at all. And at the same time, they're suspending.
Well, that's just what career you've chosen. But I think that the issue
most
with
people work a 9 to 5. I think that's
okay. Yes, but
right?
if it's the job that is making them unhappy, then maybe they should have chosen a different career path. And how can you say that you know exactly what every woman secretly wants? Are you asking them?
That wasn't my claim that I secretly know what every single woman wants. I'm saying that if you measure up at the end of your life, what brought you more fulfillment, your career or a children, raising children in your family, we will discover that, and there actually have been studies, people that have gone to people on their deathbeds, and the number one regret that people had was that they gave too much to their careers. And this includes men, by the way.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, of course, human relation is going to be valued over money and profit. And my question is, what does that even have to, what is the goal of that? Should every woman quit working and just have a child?
Well, I'm just trying to warn you that if you decide to suspend that pursuit of family because you think that you have to first climb the ladder, a lot of women make that mistake and they don't end up finding a partner.
But that's their right.
And you know what I'm about to say about this? It's a time frame on everything. So look at what's happening now. If a woman does not have kids, she doesn't get married, I mean, what time frame are you going to be dealing with when you're trying to conceive? You're trying to find you somebody to have a kid with. You're trying to make a family with. We have been lied to. They lied to us. They said that you had until 30. That's why you see a lot of women walking around here saying, oh, I'm going to get married when I'm 30. I'm going to get married when I'm 30. So you're not going to have any time to be together before you even have children. You're just going to go straight into the marriage and have kids. I mean, make it make sense. And the same women that say that they're going to get married at 30, you ask them how many kids they're going to have, they're going to say 3. So you're going straight into high risk pregnancy. Yes, you are. Because how many kids are you planning to have before you turn 35, ma'am? I mean, we gotta stop preaching this. This is not helping us. This is not helping us. And I see so many women who are working their bones off. I'm talking about 50, 60 hours a week. And what they got to show for it. I haven't seen a Brinks truck follow her yet.
Right. It's free will.
You will definitely have a right to make a mistake.
You don't get to say what people should and shouldn't do.
I don't think my claim is this is what people should or should not do. I'm just simply stating that my claim is that you will be more fulfilled if you focus on trying to
You don't get to decide what other people are fulfilled by.
Okay. I'm making my claim here that women are infinitely more fulfilled in the household and raising children than they are taking that 9 to 5 job.
But you have no evidence of that. In fact, you are evidence against your own claim.
I'm not evidence against my own claim.
You are.
I'm saying
You're at work right now.
I've literally said, I am telling you, women cannot have it all. That is an illusion, and that is an illusion that is stressing women out. Actually, what's quite ironic about the feminist movement is that
I think women are just trying to be people.
I think women have been taught that being a woman is not enough and that you have to also aspire to be a man. And that's the irony. It's like a psychological conditioning.
And she is not lying. I feel like a lot of women are almost being their own men right now. Like, think about it. When you really look into how the feminist movement came in, how it got a lot of the men out of the housing, took a lot of men out of the house, out of houses, out of lives. A lot of people grew up back in the 80s and 90s, but didn't have any fathers. Families broke up. A lot of women working. I remember when women had babies, when my grandma and them had babies and things like that, your mom came to stay with you. She can't even come stay with you no more. You know why? Because grandma is still at work. And grandma probably don't have a grandpa. So she don't have 2 incomes. She ain't got another person's pension. She don't have the help. But this is what we pushed. We pushed a woman can do almost anything a man can do. We can do the same thing, and we are totally different. We are nowhere near the same. We are not the same. And women don't mind being the same as long as it's okay with them. But when certain things come, we ain't the same. I bet if we had a draft, I bet you any amount of money, a lot of women are not going to be saying, well, you know what? Let me get my shoes. I'm ready to go. They're not. They're not. So when I hear this nonsense about how can you tell, I look at TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I see women on here crying all day long. Go pull up all the layoffs. Look at all the layoffs. The first lady said she went to college to brighten her horizon. No, ma'am. Most people go to school because they feel like they got to go to school because they got to go get a job. They got to go get a job. They got to get a career. They got to find a way. A lot of families, especially mothers, they pushed only in their daughters, go to work, go to school. And look at what we got right now. Carry on.
Feminists went out and did and said is that in order for women to have value, women need to be like men. And I'm saying
Candace,
that actually women and men are biologically different. There are differences in our behavior. There are differences in our desires. And I think evidence of the feminist movement, by the way, shows us that, because even when women enter into the college education space, the pathways of career that we choose are different from men because we're biologically different, right?
Okay, the society that you're pitching is not sustainable economically.
It was,
and I think
it was sustained economically.
But it's not right now.
Yeah, it's not right now because look how hard that the feminist movement fought to fight against it. And while we're talking about how women pick careers, a lot of women pick careers on the things they like. They didn't really pick a lot of sustainable careers. They didn't. Look at it. Look at all the soft skill jobs, all the customer service jobs, all of those jobs that have been on the chopping block. 15,000 women laid off. You don't see men being laid off as much as that you are seeing women. So when the lady was talking about she go to college to brighten her horizon, no. We need to start making better choices, guys. And the women who are coming up under us, we gotta start telling them the truth. This is sad. Let me know what y'all think about all of this. I'm curious. You know I always answer back. Till next time, folks.